This week's release of fairly treasonous text messages being sent to Donald Trump's chief of staff had one big standout, and it was this guy, Ralph Norman, saying that the Marshall's Law needs to be invoked to stop Biden from becoming president. And bear in mind, I will remind you, he said this a week after the insurrection. He saw all of that violence and bloodshed and destruction and thought, let's do that, but more. Now, he's been criticized for this. And he does want to modify his statement. He acknowledges that he was wrong. So he texted White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows January 17th, said that Trump should declare martial law. Asked about it, he says, well, I misspelled Marshall. That is true, but you get it? You get the joke, America? He was revealed to have effectively called for a coup, and he made a joke about his spelling. Not about the fact that he was okay with democracy ending in America. He's been fully exposed. Everyone knows exactly what he did. He doesn't care. He's got a little bit more in his own defense. He says, I was very frustrated then. I'm frustrated now. I was frustrated then by what was going on in the Capitol. President Biden was in his basement the whole year. Dominion was raising all kind of questions. Well, to be fair, no, the craziest people who can have a camera pointed at them that live streams to the internet were raising questions. Dominion just existed. But anyway, he says, I was frustrated at the time with everything that was happening. It was a private text message between a friend and myself. Nothing more, nothing less. Kind of, I guess, it was a text message between him and a friend, or it was a text message from a representative of Congress to the chief of staff of the president. I get that you're buds, but your job still kind of matters there. You were advocating for this to happen. This wasn't like me turning to a buddy and being like, man, when's that next Ant-Man sequel gonna come out? No, your words have consequences when you were among dozens of representatives pressuring the chief of staff to tell the president that he should institute a coup. Now, there's only been this little bit of criticism of Ralph Norman and the others. It hasn't gone beyond that, which weirds me out. I don't really understand why this isn't a more serious thing, but he is brushing this aside super casually, JR.
Absolutely, and that's the only way he can approach it now, because again, we have to normalize this kind of violence and this kind of rhetoric and behavior that they are conducting themselves in. We see the violence increase. We've seen how politically they're accepting it, in fact, celebrating it. So when you get caught up with some of these text messages and you look exactly like what people have said you are, and the people that surrounded Donald Trump, the only thing left is to joke about it, then say it was just a joke. We heard Marjorie Taylor Greene say that as well after her comments about how she and Bannon had actually planned January 6th. We'd have done it, we'd have won. You guys don't know what a joke is. It always goes back to that minimizing what is it they said. But if the stuff actually hit the fan the way they wanted it to, would they be going, that was just a joke, you guys? Here, come back out. No, actually, Joe Biden is the president. Were they joking then? It's the same thing keeps happening. He's talking about Dominion and everything. Dominion right now just deposed Murdoch on this $1.6 billion thing. But he's still talking about it. Because as long as you minimize it and still normalize the violence and the rhetoric that you're pushing, enough people will support you. That's really all they need is support. Who cares how illegal and anti-American this is, as they call themselves patriots? Sucks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like it's just a joke. They still say that Biden isn't the legitimate president. Like, what are you talking about? They still say that simultaneously everyone who's locked up is great patriots, so they shouldn't have been locked up, or they're Antifa, or both. They still tell the exact same lies about it. It's not a joke. It's not a joke when you seriously want there to be a coup. Exactly, as JR said, it's not like we'd be mid-coup and they'd be like, oh no, you totally misunderstood me. No, they would be picking up an AR and gunning down their colleagues. That's what they would be doing. And they look forward to the day when they can do that in the future. But many of these people still in office. And again, we're taking like a slow stroll towards the next insurrection. Everyone was rightly freaked out for like 3 weeks after the last one. And now it's like just another political event. It's something that happened, I guess. Added to the pile of things that Donald Trump did that was scary. No, it is far more significant.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.